One of the real stories told by Neville Goddard perfectly demonstrates how persistent and consistent application of the law of imagination can produce incredible results in a seemingly hopeless situation. The story is told on behalf of Neville Goddard. 4 years ago, one of my friends asked me to talk to his son, who at the age of 28 had been given a terminal diagnosis by doctors. He suffered from a rare heart condition. Long and expensive treatment had yielded no results, and he was fading away before our eyes. The young man had been bedridden for a long time, had lost a lot of weight, and had become skeletal. He was so weak that he could barely breathe or speak. When I arrived, his wife and 2 children were at home. I began the conversation by saying that any problem can be solved in only one way: by changing one's consciousness and attitude toward oneself. Since it was difficult for the young man to speak, I asked him to simply nod his head in agreement. He nodded. Then I described to him the principles of how our consciousness works and said that consciousness is the only real reality and we create it ourselves. That is why, in order to change a circumstance, you need to change your attitude towards it. I asked him to imagine that he had already recovered. To make it easier for him to feel this state, I said, "Imagine the surprised face of the doctor who finds you completely cured, contrary to all predictions and common sense. Imagine how he examines you again and again and mutters, 'It's a miracle. It's just a miracle.'" The young man not only understood everything I was saying, but also believed in it wholeheartedly. He promised me that he would do this exercise constantly. His wife, who had been listening attentively all this time, also assured me that she would use the law of imagination together with him. The next day, I left for New York. This whole story took place during a Christmas vacation in the tropics. A few months later, I received a letter saying that the young man had made a remarkable recovery. During my next trip to that region, I went to see him. He was feeling great, leading an active business life and enjoying the company of his family and friends. The young man said that from the very day we had our conversation, he never doubted for a second that it would work. He then described in detail how, day after day, he applied the law of imagination and lived as if he were already healed.